So if you're wondering what to do with those ranges of motion in your ankle that you have been fiercely working on, you've got them exactly where you want, and you're thinking, okay, what do I do with these ranges of motion? This week's Monday Moves with Marian, we are talking about exactly where your foot should be. Hey, it's Marian, and today is the day. Today is where we are putting all your hard work on ankle range of motion into play. Now, if you haven't done it already, I want you to download the Foundations Walking Guide. This takes you step by step through the 4 movements in the ankle, which are key for laying the foundation for pain-free walking, because that's our goal. We want to make sure when we get out walking that we are not causing any irritation to the knees and the hips, we are not causing any injuries, and we're able to level up without fatigue. Our cardiovascular work should be to increase our energy, not to make us frustrated, overwhelmed, and frankly, really tired. If these things are happening, you're not moving well, and I'm all about moving well. So this is how we're using the Foundations First framework to make sure that your ankle is moving properly in all 4 ranges of motion, so now we can work on the proper foot placement. Your foot placement is key because this is a strategy that's going to keep the rest of your body aligned. So how we place the foot on the ground is the key strategy to keeping everything else aligned. So let's take a look at where that foot should be, and now you'll know why I was pushing so hard on you working on that ankle range of motion. Ankle range of motion is key to make sure you can not only place your foot where it should be, but also to generate the power with the right muscles to make sure that you have the strength for walking and the endurance to get to where you want to be with your amount of walking you want. The breast cancer guidelines are saying 150 minutes a week of cardiovascular activity. If you've decided that's walking, or you've decided that's where you're starting, then that's our goal. That's what we want. We want that pain-free. We want to make sure there's no aches and pains, that we're not causing injuries to the hips or the knees or the back. So we need the strategy to start from the ground up, which is why we started with ankle range of motion. So take a look and let me know what you're thinking about how this ankle is moving. Compare it to how you're moving as well with your ankle. Of course, we're going to start with that neutral position, and I want to see that your feet and your heels are absolutely aligned. I don't want you bowed out with your toes pointing off north and south or east and west, and I don't want to see that your heels are either turned in or turned out. I want that foot in alignment. That's our starting position. We need those neutral postures. So when that foot is aligned, we're going to take that first step. Taking that first step brings us into the first phase of walking, and that is the heel strike. When that foot comes forward, that heel should be striking the ground, and it should only be the heel. Those toes should be up, the knee should be straight. So yeah, that brings us into the next phase of the Foundations Walking Guide. You should be working on that knee range of motion. We want to see that full extension here, but let's just stick with the ankle and the foot positioning for now. So I want that heel strike. I want to make sure that it's only the heel that is hitting the ground, and then you will move into the next phase. This is called the stance phase, and that's where the foot is flat on the ground. Now here's your little pointer that I want you to look out for when you're in stance phase. So you've put down the heel, now you have the foot flat on the ground. I want to make sure it's in the exact same position you had when you started. So heel and toe aligned, that's what you're looking for. Now, you may have that toe out just on a little bit of an angle. That's okay. That's just fine. But I want you to think about having that in alignment. So if there is a little wiggle room, you really are concentrating on that proper alignment. So that's the stance phase. That's the second phase of walking. The third one is your toe off. So now you're going to lift the heel off the ground, and the last part of your foot to leave the ground as you're walking is going to be your big toe. So let's review the 3 phases of walking for that lead foot. You are going to take your step. That heel is going to hit the ground. That's phase number 1. That is heel strike. Then that whole foot's going to come down onto the ground. This is stance phase. This is where you want to make sure that you are aligned in the foot, because it's going to align your body, keep you balanced and feeling secure. Last phase, This is where we're going to end up generating our power. So we want to make sure that we've lifted the heel, that the big toe is that last part to leave the ground. And those are the 3 phases that I want you to work on this week for your walking. So as you work through those 3 phases of foot placement for walking, as you looked at the heel strike, the stance phase, and the toe off, were you feeling secure? Were you feeling all proud of yourself that you had that great range of motion that you've been working on as you work through the Foundations Walking Guide? Are you feeling maybe still a little bit of tightness? Well, go back, review those pictures, review those ranges of motion, and continue to work on it. I know you can do it. I want you to continue on this journey with me because I'm going to continue bringing you videos, talking to you about each stage of getting to our goal of pain-free walking. Again, that is the top of our triangle. When we talk about the Foundations First framework, we're talking about working on that range of motion, getting in that stability and that motor control, talking about the strength we need in the muscles, the endurance, and hitting that goal for pain-free walking. I'm going to be with you each step of the way. I'd love for you to hit the subscribe button so you know exactly when we are moving forward. Keep you a little motivated, and we'll continue this journey together. Have a great day, continue to move well, and keep stretching.